Well, that was difficult. Trying to keep a happy mom face while my heart is fucking breaking. Fun. Not done reading books. I've got another kid that I want to read a book to that I've been waiting to have FaceTime with. And if he was here tonight, I would read him this book. He seems to like this book, so I'm gonna read it. So I'm making space for him throughout my day, throughout my physical environment. I've made a space for him, even though I haven't seen him and I don't even want to count the weeks. But just because someone has created a block, a wall between me and my son, doesn't mean that I don't every day take the time to spend with him energetically. I am there. So, that being said, this is Bear Shadow by Frank Ash, or something like that. This guy. One day, Bear went down to the pond with his fishing pole and a big can of worms. While he was putting a worm on his hook, he looked down and saw a big fish. "I'm going to catch that fish," thought the bear to himself. When Bear stood up to throw his line in the water, his shadow scared the big fish away. "Go away, Shadow," cried Bear, but Bear's shadow would not go away. This book reminds me of the equivalent of my favorite book from childhood, which is the monster at the end of the book, the Grover book. Love it. This kind of gives me the same vibe. When Bear stood up to throw his line in the water, his shadow scared the big fish away. "Go away, Shadow," cried Bear, but Bear's shadow would not go away. "Okay," said Bear, "if you won't go away on your own, then I'll just have to get rid of you." And he put down his fishing pole and he began to run. He ran around the pond. When he got to the other side, he kept on running. He ran through a field of flowers, jumped over the brook, and hid behind a tree. "Good," thought Bear. "Now Shadow can't find me." But Bear was wrong. When he stepped out from behind the tree, the first thing he saw was Shadow. Nearby was a cliff. Bear walked over to the cliff and looked up. "I'll climb so high Shadow won't be able to follow me," thought Bear. But Bear climbed higher and higher until at last he pulled himself on top. Huffing and puffing, he smiled with pride. Then he looked down and saw Shadow. Now Bear was very annoyed, so he went home and got a hammer and some nails to nail his shadow to the ground. He hammered and hammered and hammered, but no matter how many nails he hammered, he couldn't nail his shadow down. "If I can't nail him down," thought Bear, "maybe I can bury him." So he got his shovel and dug a hole. When the hole was deep and wide, he let his shadow fall in the hole. Then Bear filled in the hole with dirt. When he was finished, it was almost noon. The sun was high in the sky and Shadow was nowhere to be seen. "At last," sighed Bear. "No more Shadow." They tried to bury him. Tried to bury his shadow. Little did they know, shadows follow you everywhere you go. That was just a side note. But now Bear was very tired. So he went inside and took a little nap. While he slept, time passed, and the sun, once again, cast shadows everywhere. When the light comes shining, the shadows come out to play. Remember, you cannot have one without the other. But when Bear got up and opened his door, he saw his shadow on the floor. "Not you again," exclaimed Bear. exclaimed, clam. I just want to say clam. He slammed the door, hoping to lock Shadow inside, but Shadow was too quick. Sighed Bear. How about this? If you let me catch a fish, I'll let you catch one too. Nod your head like this, if it's a deal. When Bear nodded his head, Shadow nodded too. So he's confronting the Shadow and making friends. Let's play nice with these shadows, right? And when Bear caught that big fish, Shadow caught one too. I think this is a lesson, and you cannot run away from your own shadow. Especially when there's so much light around. The monster at the end of the book, we'll read that next time. Good night, Earthlings.